Hi, I'm Nell McGill. I'm the Liberal candidate for Shortland. I'm so proud to once again be the Liberal candidate for Shortland. I want to say thank you to the Prime Minister and Senator Hughes for being here on this exciting day. I want to be a fresh and positive voice for Shortland. The Hunter is going to be an economic powerhouse coming out of COVID and under the Morrison government's plan to reach net zero by 2050. And that means fantastic opportunities in Shortland. My focus is going to be the jobs and infrastructure that we need so the people of Shortland have safe and happy lives and happy futures. I'm really looking forward to getting out and meeting as many people as I can to find out what the people in Shortland want to make their lives better. Thank you.
Thanks, I'm happy to take some questions, and let's particularly focus on things local at first. I'm sure there are other questions.
Could you first explain the hydrogen hub? What does it actually mean? How does it work for the people at home?
Well, what this means is that hydrogen's been around for a long time, and it is the future fuel, whether it's how it produces ammonia as well, which can be used in coal-fired power plants, not just here, but all around the rest of the world. It is the fuel that can charge up our big mining trucks and get them operating. It can power vehicles to travel over extremely long distances. It is the fuel that actually can, over time, ensure that it can make up, in some estimates, 10% of the world's energy needs. And Australia is so well placed for this because we have the space and we have the technology and we have the partnerships. I mean, take companies like Suncable, which is another low emissions technology venture. You combine that with the work that is being done in hydrogen hubs, which will be set up all around the country in places just like the Hunter, to ensure you get the combination of the science and the engineering and the technologists and the university together with the building up of the skills, and you take that through to how you're powering up your manufacturing industries as well. Hydrogen is simply a fuel that can power our traditional industries and our energy generation. It means lower costs and it means more jobs for the Hunter.
Prime Minister, you said local, but Glasgow is local for us because of coal.
Sure.
So what message did you sell to Glasgow and how was it received? And do other countries recognise we are doing these things?
Yeah, our commitment to net zero by 2050 is not going to be achieved by legislating jobs away. It's not going to be achieved by forcing people to do things. It's going to be achieved by getting the costs of the technologies that change the world down, not by putting the costs of other things up. You don't have to put electricity prices up to get emissions down. You don't have to sell out your economy and the jobs in your economy to get your emissions down. Australia has had a 20.8% fall in our emissions since 2005, and we've had a 45% increase in the size of our economy. And at the same time, we've actually developed one of the largest LNG industries in the world. Our emissions intensity has fallen by 56%. Now, there's only one other country in the G20, which I told them in Rome, that has a better performance than Australia when it comes to emissions intensity, and that's the United Kingdom. Better than all the other countries in the G20, and there are only 4 countries that have actually had a better performance on emissions reduction in the G20 than Australia, and that's France, Italy, and the United Kingdom and Germany. That's it. All the others, Australia has outperformed. What I was able to say in Glasgow is Australia is doing it. We're doing it here in the Hunter. We're doing it up in the Pilbara. We're doing it up in Darwin. We're doing it up in North Queensland. We're doing it down in Bell Bay in Tasmania. Australia is doing it our way, the Australian way. The Australian way is not legislating jobs away. It's not putting costs on businesses. It's actually providing the right incentives and the right investments to make technology a reality. You get hydrogen to $2 Australian per kilo, and you are really starting to fire up your economy and the economies of our partners around the world. Now, let me make another point about that, because it wasn't just developed advanced economies from Europe that I was meeting with in Glasgow. It was Indonesia, Vietnam, countries in our own region, India, developing economies who need this technology, and they need it at the right price and so they can scale it. You're not going to address climate change unless you can put low-cost technology in developing countries like that. And countries like Indonesia and Vietnam and India, they're looking to Australia for that. In the same way, our big trading partners, when I met with the new Prime Minister of Japan, Prime Minister Kishida, as well as President Moon from Korea, these are the issues we were talking about. Australia has always been a big energy partner for our region. And, you know, with programs like this, we will continue to be. So if you're working here in the Hunter, well, you've got a bright future.